Dubai is betting tens of billions on a new kind of city, not just taller towers, but systems that might let millions move, live, and even breathe differently. A 93-kilometer climate-controlled loop, a vertical wellness oasis, branded super talls, and engineered coastlines all promise to rewrite what urban civilization can be. But can these mega projects actually work in the world's most punishing heat? This is where the future of cities gets put to the test. A single line curves across the city map, a vision that stretches for 93 kilometers, encircling Dubai's most vital districts. This is The Loop, a proposed urban corridor that aims to rewrite the rules of daily movement in one of the world's hottest climates. Planners imagine a future where millions of residents can reach schools, offices, clinics, and parks by walking or cycling, shielded from the desert heat. The promise is bold: access to key services within minutes, not hours, and a city where the car is no longer the default answer for every journey. The scale alone sets it apart. The loop would connect Dubai Marina, downtown, Business Bay, Jumeirah, Al Barsha, and Dubai Hills in a continuous network, forming a new backbone for urban life. It is not just a shortcut or a park trail. It is a city-scale artery designed to serve more than 3 million people. The route weaves through transit hubs, linking directly to metro stations such as Dubai Marina and Burj Khalifa, with dedicated ramps and secure bike storage at every major stop. The vision is to make cycling and running not just possible, but practical, even in the height of summer. Every kilometer is mapped with daily life in mind. The corridor would offer shaded walkways, wide cycling lanes, and integrated rest areas, aiming to transform how people think about commuting and exercise. Instead of braving traffic or waiting for a ride, residents could step into a climate-protected path and reach their destination on foot or by bike. The ambition is to shift at least 20% of daily trips away from cars by 2040, a target supported by recent surveys showing strong resident interest if the right infrastructure exists. But it is not just about moving people, it is about changing habits and expectations. The loop is pitched as a model for cities facing extreme weather, where sustainable mobility is not a luxury, but a necessity. The route's 93-kilometer length stands as both a technical and cultural challenge, promising a new kind of freedom for millions if the vision can be realized. For now, it remains a proposed project, a line on the map and a statement of intent, with its ultimate impact still to be tested against the realities of heat, demand, and daily life. Dubai's ambition for the loop faces a test that no amount of master planning can ignore. The city's brutal summer heat is the central challenge. With temperatures soaring past 50 degrees Celsius and humidity rising, the promise of year-round cycling and walking demands more than shaded lanes. Engineers behind the proposal outline a layered system of thermal defenses. The first line uses passive shade, dense canopies, pergolas, and reflective surfaces meant to cut surface temperatures by up to 15 degrees Celsius. But even the thickest shade cannot make a July afternoon comfortable on its own. To push further, the design incorporates evaporative misting along the corridor. Fine sprays, powered by desalinated water, are intended to lower the perceived temperature for anyone moving through. In select high-traffic zones, the plan calls for enclosed, air-conditioned pods, microclimate stations every few kilometers, offering a cool refuge with seating, hydration, and charging points. The concept borrows from pilot projects like Al Qudra's shaded track, but scales up with more aggressive cooling and technology. The engineering challenge runs deeper than comfort. Each cooling tactic comes with a real cost. Passive systems rely on careful planting and maintenance, but misting requires a steady supply of water. No small feat in a desert city where every drop is produced by energy-intensive desalination. The pods, designed for full HVAC control, would draw significant power, especially if they operate through the hottest months. Early models suggest that even a hybrid system, covering just 1/5 of the route with active cooling, could consume hundreds of megawatt hours per day. During peak summer use, water demand for misting alone could reach several hundred cubic meters daily. No final engineering blueprints or operational budgets have been released. The project remains in the proposed stage, with many technical details still under review. A Dubai-based mobility engineer, speaking off record, admits that the real test will come if construction begins. The engineer says you can model the microclimate, but until you run it through a full summer, you will not know if people will actually use it. These uncertainties leave the core question unresolved. Can a city corridor truly overcome the physics of desert heat? Or will even the most advanced cooling systems be outmatched by the climate? For now, the loop stands as a vision, one that may only prove itself or fall short under the relentless sun. A shimmering tower rises above the lake in Zabil Park, its terraces stacked with gardens, waterfalls, and pools. Therme Dubai, Islands in the Sky, has been announced as a new kind of public wellness destination. With construction slated to begin in 2026, the project's design stretches nearly 100 meters high, layering botanical islands, mineral baths, and panoramic decks that overlook the city. At the base, the lake reflects the building's green terraces, while the upper levels host suspended gardens and cascading pools. The plan divides the structure into zones. Families gravitate toward water slides and play areas, while adults slip into mineral pools, steam rooms, and saunas. Michelin-star dining in a vast indoor botanical garden, home to over 200 plant species and 1,700 trees, frame the wellness experience as more than a private luxury. Therme Group's vision is to create a civic oasis, open to residents and visitors, where health and relaxation are woven into the fabric of daily life. The project's promise goes beyond spectacle. Developers position Therme Dubai as a model for urban well-being, tying its mission to the city's quality of life strategy and the 2040 Urban Master Plan. The ambition is to make wellness infrastructure as essential as roads and utilities. The building is expected to host year-round programs, nutritional consultations, cultural events, and accessible therapies aimed at making physical and mental health an everyday pursuit. Therme's spokesperson describes it as well-being for all, a place where families, commuters, and tourists can share public pools and green spaces, not just hotel guests or private members. But the vision comes with steep resource demands. To keep thermal pools and lush gardens running in the heart of the desert, the project targets a 90% water recycling rate, using proprietary ozonation and rainwater harvesting to clean and reuse water for bathing and irrigation. Most of the building's cooling and air supply is planned to come from clean energy sources, with solar power and advanced HVAC systems providing up to 80% of the demand. LED lighting and natural daylight are meant to minimize the footprint, and the entire complex aims for Platinum LEED certification. Even so, the scale of the operation, thousands of daily visitors, year-round cooling, and water-intensive features raises questions about how sustainable a vertical oasis can truly be in one of the world's driest climates. Therme Dubai's leaders point to their track record in Europe, where similar sites recycle water and run on renewable energy. They emphasize that Dubai's project will use smart resource management and cutting-edge filtration to minimize waste and emissions. Yet no operational data or public energy models have been released for the new site. The promise of a civic wellness landmark stands in tension with the reality of desert resource constraints. The project's fate will hinge not just on its appeal as an urban retreat, but on its ability to deliver public benefit without overwhelming Dubai's energy and water systems. For now, Therme Dubai remains a bold plan, scheduled to break ground in 2026 with a completion target that some industry insiders already call ambitious. On the skyline, towers are no longer just feats of engineering. They are global marketing machines. The Burj Binghati Jacob & Co. residences stands as the centerpiece of this new era, with its diamond-shaped crown and a roster of penthouses marketed as sky mansions. This tower, now under construction, is promoted by its partners as aiming to be the world's tallest residential-only building. The pitch is pure prestige. Each residence comes with access to exclusive hospitality services, and in an echo of automotive luxury, select penthouses include a private car elevator, allowing owners to drive their vehicles directly into their sky-high homes. For developers, the logic is simple. Towers like Burj Binghati are not just places to live. They are brands in themselves, designed to attract buyers from New York, London, Mumbai, and beyond. The partnership with Jacob & Co., a name known for extravagant watches, signals a shift. Real estate is now a canvas for global luxury branding. The economics hinge on scarcity and spectacle. The higher the tower, the rarer the view, the more exclusive the address. Even amenities are crafted as status symbols, from infinity pools perched above the clouds to concierge services that rival five-star hotels. This model is not limited to one site. Across Dubai, a slate of branded super talls is rising. Al Habtoor Tower promises over 1,000 apartments in a single stack, while CL Tower in Dubai Marina is set to claim the title of the world's tallest hotel. Then there is the developer-announced Burj Azizi, which has made headlines with its claim of reaching 725 meters. If realized, it would stand among the world's tallest structures, though its exact status remains tied to future progress and market demand. But beneath the shine, questions remain. Can these towers maintain high occupancy when the global luxury market shifts? With thousands of new branded units hitting the market, the risk of oversupply is real. Industry analysts warn that prestige alone does not guarantee long-term stability, especially if buyers treat these properties as investment vehicles rather than homes. The economics of luxury as infrastructure depend on constant demand from global elites. If that demand falters, the towers risk becoming vertical symbols of speculation rather than anchors of a sustainable city. Cone Corporation, a key partner in the Binghati project, describes the tower as a new paradigm for branded living. But even their announcements are careful. Completion targets are stated as aims, not guarantees. For now, each new super tall adds another layer to Dubai's city as product experiment, where architecture, luxury, and marketing are fused into a single urban strategy. The next test will be whether these vertical brands can deliver lasting value, or if they are simply the latest cycle in the city's relentless pursuit of prestige. Beneath the surface of Dubai's coastline, a new kind of city building is underway, one measured not in concrete towers, but in living coral, fish, and engineered stone. In 2024, the Dubai Department of Economy and Tourism launched the Dubai Reef initiative, setting out to create one of the world's largest artificial marine habitats. The plan calls for 20,000 low-carbon concrete reef modules, some as tall as 6 meters, to be deployed across 600 square kilometers of coastal water. By mid-2025, nearly 40% of these structures had already been placed, with the rest slated for completion by 2027. The project's architects point to early results from a proof-of-concept phase, an 8-fold increase in fish biomass, and a 10% rise in marine biodiversity compared to 2021 baselines. Groupers, snappers, and barracuda now gather where there was once only sand. Each module's design is tailored for depth and current, from smaller reef shades in shallow water to massive ocean castles in deeper zones, all carefully positioned to avoid shipping lanes and anchorages. To track whether these gains hold, the initiative relies on a network of underwater monitoring stations and 3D scanning. Marine scientists from the Dubai Department of Economy and Tourism and partner organizations conduct regular surveys, using drones and acoustic sensors to count species and assess coral growth. The data feeds into a central marine research institute, which aims to make Dubai a regional hub for ocean science and conservation technology. The reef is also pitched as a buffer against coastal erosion and as a living classroom for students and visiting researchers. Yet for all the optimism, the project's long-term impact remains an open question. There are no published peer-reviewed studies or independent audits of the biodiversity targets. Officials speak of resilience and legacy, but critics note the absence of detailed environmental impact statements and clear benchmarks for what success looks like beyond the early biomass numbers. The Dubai Reef stands as a test, a real-world experiment. Can engineered ecosystems deliver measurable recovery, or will they serve mainly as symbols of green ambition? For now, the answer lies in ongoing monitoring and the willingness to share results, not just headlines. Along Dubai's coastline, an even larger pledge comes into focus: the proposed planting of 100 million mangroves across 72 kilometers of urban shoreline. The project, announced by URB, aims to create a living buffer that could shield the city from storm surges, slow erosion, and absorb carbon at a scale rarely attempted in urban environments. Each mangrove tree, according to environmental estimates, can capture around 25 kilograms of carbon dioxide per year, turning the coastline into a vast, natural carbon sink. The ambition is not just ecological restoration, but the engineering of resilience, using nature as infrastructure to protect both the city and its future. The numbers are staggering. 100 million mangroves would form one of the largest urban reforestation efforts ever attempted, rivaling national-scale projects elsewhere in the world. The plan calls for a continuous green corridor, creating new habitats for birds, fish, and marine life, while supporting biodiversity along a heavily developed coast. Drones and automated planting systems are pitched as tools to scale up the operation, and floating research pods are included in the vision. Platforms where scientists, students, and eco-tourists could observe the evolving ecosystem firsthand. Yet the sheer scale invites skepticism. Coastal ecologists point out that mangrove survival rates can vary widely, especially in engineered environments where salinity, tidal flow, and sediment quality are hard to control. Even with advanced monitoring and adaptive management, maintaining a dense, healthy mangrove forest over 72 kilometers presents challenges that go beyond planting alone. Past restoration projects in the region have seen survival rates dip below 50% without constant intervention. Questions remain about how these new mangroves will be irrigated, how they will integrate with existing urban infrastructure, and whether the full carbon sequestration potential can be realized under real-world conditions. Supporters frame the project as a necessary bet on natural resilience in a warming world. Detractors warn that headline numbers do not guarantee long-term ecological success. The Dubai Mangroves proposal stands as a test of both ambition and practicality. Can a city engineer nature at this scale and see it thrive? Or will the limits of biology and climate prove harder to bend than the lines on a master plan? Right now, Dubai is treating the city itself as a platform for innovation, testing whether urban life can be engineered for resilience, spectacle, and survival at once. As climate risks rise and urban populations surge, the stakes go far beyond the Gulf. The world is watching to see if a city can be designed, not just built. This isn't just a skyline race anymore. It's a race to redesign how civilization lives.